Hey guys, this is D.O.D. aka Dark Frozen Depths, back with some more Kamihime project. Now this one's going to be more of a, I'd say, guide. So keep in mind this is both stuff I looked up and my own personal opinion, but this is somewhat more preference too because of the fact that it's still dependent on what you want to do with this one. But what I'm going to be talking about is the different gachas, and considering the fact that we're getting a Star Coins login, it pretty much reminded me of this. So right off the bat, I'm going to say that these two things. I'm not going to cover any of the gachas that are free. So if you got the ticket gachas or the gem gachas or the magic jewel gachas, not going to cover those. There's different preferences and things that people can go through with that, but those are something that every player can do. I'm more covering the stuff that you need star coins for, because not every gacha is worth going after, and then there's some that are clearly better than others. In fact, we'll get one right out the way in a second, but second thing, I'm going to try and rate these on a scale of 1 to 10. So, and 0.5 is allowed, but nothing more decimal value than 0.5. So it won't be like a 0.3 or 0.475, stuff like that. It's just either a flat number or a 0.5. So, that said, first gacha out the way, I don't have it on the gacha tab. And there's some of these that aren't on the gacha tab, but I do know they exist. And if I happen to miss one, place it in the comments, because I may or may not remember them all. But first thing out the gate, definitely the Miracle Ticket gacha. That one, you can't rate it. It's just the best one hands down. Reason being is because you can get, after sitting and dropping a hefty amount of coins, it is 5,000 star coins. That's the equivalent of 50 bucks. And it's probably the most expensive gacha we got now. But you're going to want to get this gacha hands down for the sole fact that you can get any Kamihime you want in the game at the point of its appearance. So the first day it appears, any Kamihime that's existed aside from the event ones, that's the catch. I don't know if they'll add the event ones later, but aside from the event ones, any Kamihime that's regularly in the gacha you can get. So for instance, Snow Raphael's in there, you can get her. Soul's in there, you can get her. The current new Kamihime that came out, I think one of them's Athena. Next Miracle Ticket will be able to get her. Next Miracle Ticket you can get Cybele Unleashed. And that's the whole thing. These gachas don't come out that often. You're limited to one and one only. If you do not get it, you gotta wait about 3 months in order to get the next one. And don't waste it on SR or R Kamihime. Just get an SSR. The best rarity. And then from what I'm seeing, there's a tab on there too that says I don't. So I hope it does what I don'ts get picked later down the line. Because if it does, 100% I don'ts are definitely the top pick for that. Maybe the Dragoons too, because they come with some insane buffs. Especially when you break limit them. The buffs get even higher. I think 50% character. No, it's not 50% character attack. It's 50% elemental attack, and I think it's the same in defense. I'm not sure. But the Dragoons are strong. At the cost of not being able to really boost your attack immediately, the Dragoons are strong. They're better used as sub-add-ons, but I hope the Miracle Ticket gets that later. I hope. Because the Dragoons and 100% add-ons are very hard to pull for. So are the SSR girls, but that's why it's so valued. You can get any SSR you want. Period, point blank. And if you're lucky enough, you'll probably pull another one. Because you get a 10 draw with it. But anyways, now that that's done, and I also don't have this on the tab, but this is definitely the second best one, which I rate a 8.5 out of 10. Only so for the fact that it won't force you to get a new one. And it would have been a 9.5 out of 10 if they wouldn't have combined them together, but it's the SSR guaranteed gachas. Now, we had a few special deals where you might have gotten more than one shot at them. But I don't know if it'll come back. But the one that really does seem periodic, it's now been converted into the two SSR guarantees into one. So you'll get an SSR guarantee from either Kamihime or Adoans. You don't get one of each. So unfortunately, they kind of downgraded it, but the price will never go past 3,000 star coins, which is $30. The thing about this one is that it lessens the RNG. It doesn't completely remove it, but it lessens it. What I'm saying is, anybody in the SSR pool, at the time being, I do believe it even includes the limited ones that's on there for the time being. You've got a chance of pulling any one of those. It forces an SSR to appear. So you really have to watch the gacha window, because that one, it will automatically show the gold lightning, the gold background and the yellow, I guess, gold lightning from the animation. So you really have to watch and see what comes out. If there's another rainbow, if there's 2 or more rainbow orbs, you've pulled an extra one. But the thing about that is the fact that it will give you a lot of good stuff. For players that intend on throwing money at the game, that's definitely another one of the best ones to get, hands down. Now, another one that's also not up on the tabs, I would have to say is the Dragonic Eye Gacha. Because those one give you Dragonic Eye Shards. Those are very hard to come in there. This one gets a 7.5 out of 10 in my opinion. Which would have been a 7, but they do have these show up rather frequently. Like every time we get a new awakening in the books, they'll show up. But the whole thing with this is the fact that you'll get 4 Dragonic Eye Shards per pool, and they typically give you 3 pools. That is 12 Dragonic Eye Shards. That is enough for a Dragonic Eye and a fifth of one. And the only other way to get these Dragonic Eye Shards is to do extremely well in events. I mean, nearly destroying the raid bonuses or whatnot. You have to get nearly all of them, because those raid rewards are not easy to max out unless you're just an avid grinder. But then there's also the fact that you can get them from rematch events. I don't know if they'll just be in a normal events, but the rematches definitely have them, and you have to clear Ragnarok stages in order to be able to get those, because that's what the demonic cores are for, that you get from Ragnarok fights. That's the only reason you should be doing Ragnarok anyways. But that's the whole thing with those. If you can't get them that way, your only means of doing so is by going here. As you can see, I've already got a mission cleared. Here's the issue with this one. And this is why I say the Dragonic Eye Gacha comes in handy a lot. All these daily quests, you're going to be doing them a lot. Reason being, you only get a Dragonic Eye Shard by doing these weekly quests. All 5 of them. The daily quest isn't that hard if you sit back farming them, especially on the weekend where you can get the Cave of Gold ore for EXP. The raid quest more or less is easy to do, but if you're like right now we have a raid event, that's going to get knocked out instantly if you just farm the raid event. Enhancing, you have to go back and do those. Enhancing an Adolin and a weapon 10 times each. And it doesn't matter how many items you use in that enhancement, it only counts as 1. So if you really want to do this quick, enhance them with only 1 item at a time. But this is the reason why it takes a lot. Clear 25 daily missions. That means these missions, within 1 week, you have to clear 25 of them. That means out of 35, you have to clear 25. If you miss 3 days worth, as in have not completed any of them for 3 days, you're instantly out of the Dragonic Eye Shard for this week. That's why it's so difficult. Well, it's not difficult, but it's tedious. But that's the reason why that gacha is so worth it. Now, if I were to go down on scale, this one, it's high depending on what you need, in my case. I'm going to rate this gacha a 6 out of 10. And there's a second one that goes with it that's also a 6 out of 10. That's these ones right here. The break limit materials. Now, again, materials, you really do need a lot of these, and these are hard to get ones, especially these books. These books are very, very hard to get if you aren't that strong. It depends on your level of strength. The thing with that is that those gold and silver books only come from events. Only come from events. Nothing else hands them out to us yet. And I say yet because we'll get content that will. But The whole thing with those is the fact that they're used to max break limit your SR for the silver books, and your SSR can use both depending on if they awaken or not. If they can awaken, they'll use both, in quite a few gold books too. If they can't awaken, then they only use the gold ones. But you're not getting that fourth break without those, so that's the whole deal with those. The fangs aren't too hard to really get. You can get them from the daily quest or even the gym gacha if you're lucky. But those books are the whole reason why that's worth it. Now another one that's equally worth it is the accessory gacha, which isn't here. Accessories, the SSR ones are hands down the ones you want to aim for, and they are very, very hard to get because the drop rate on them is insanely low. And from what I've heard, you can get them from any rank aside from rank 1, but the drop rate's still pretty low even on rank 4. But rank 4's got the best chance of it, and well, you're not getting rank 4 drops unless you can clear Ragnarok fights on rank 3. Or rank 3. Rank 4 is probably on the same level as, I guess, maybe the Ragnarok raid boss fights now. If you're trying to solo it, that is. But that's the whole thing with that. You're going to have a hard time getting the SSR accessories. That's why that gacha is worth it, because it throws you one your way, and I think you can do it multiple times as well. I think 3 draws just like this one, like the break limit materials. Both of those are equally good, but they still depend on what you might need. Like me, I need books, but I'm not going to go throw money at this gacha because I can still get them other ways. I'm strong enough to get them from events and whatnot. The raid event's easy to get them from too because of the simple fact that you can jump into somebody else's raid and get help that way, or you can sit up and get help yourself by starting one and having others come in. Now then, the gacha that's close to them but not as much is the double SSR guarantee. I mean the double SR guaranteed, because any single 10 draw guarantees 1 SR, but there's the ones that double that chance, which means you get 2 SR guaranteed. Reason why I'm saying that these are quite worth it, but only I'd say a 5.5, is the fact that when it comes to pulling for stuff, if you have SR or higher guaranteed, it seems like you got roughly a 5% chance on that one pull to get an SSR. Otherwise, it's a 3% chance. It ups the chances of those happening. But that's pretty much it. Like, that's the whole thing with that one. That's pretty much it. It just increases the chances of getting SSR. So, now, the ones that I have to rate even lower, like, here's the thing. The new character boosted gacha, this one I'm giving a 4 out of 10 because it depends on who's on there. It really does. But it's a drop rate increase on characters. We do get some very good ones that's worth it from time to time. Like when there's a character boost for Thanatos, people should have pulled for her. I know dark character people, like, it depends on your elements that you use too, which is also the other reason why the other one's there. But the new character boosted gacha, that's the whole thing with that. It's dependent on what you might need. There's some very strong characters that do come out, and even the dull ones get the drop rate boost up as well. But those specific ones, you don't have a guarantee of pulling them. That's why it's low, but it does increase your chances of pulling them. I don't think it increases the chances of stuff like SSR going up from like 3 to 5%, but I think it does guarantee their chances. Like a 3% chance of pulling SSR, and then out of that percentage is like a certain pool where you can get these guys. And increases that pool where you can get them. So, for instance, it probably increased the rate for like, I'd say like a 0.5 to a 1% chance, stuff like that. But that's the whole thing with these gachas. They're periodic. And then there's the elemental one too, which, honestly, if you're aiming for a specific team, that's where you go for that one. Like, it's recommended to go for one element first, build them up, and then you can get the other ones up later. You will need all of the elements. That's guaranteed, because we're going to get content that forces you. But, and it will force you to use your R girls too. But the whole thing with that is, you're going to want to pull on this one if you feel lucky enough on the element that pops up. I couldn't care less about the Thunder one right now, but if Light pops up, I think I would try that just to see if I get Michael or maybe somebody else that might be worth it. I know Metatron's good for a burst team, but that's the whole thing with that. It's dependent on what you might need as well, but that one gets a 3.5 out of 10, opposed to the new character gacha, which gets a 4, because the new character gacha is more value. Now, the last one that's obviously on here right now is the premium gacha. Now, here's the thing. With the new character and the premium gacha, there's a certain thing with this. Like, see, you get a reduced discount pool. And I've gotten an SSR on that. You probably seen that video because that's where I got Cyber Unleashed. But if you have leftover star coins, then that's not bad because it's like 120 star coins. And it's less than half price because the half price would be 150 star coins. But anyways, you can do those once per day as well. So typically you can get more pools if you just take your time and do it like once a day. So say the gacha's up for like 7 days, then out of that entire amount, you can get like 7 120 pools and then get the rest to try and balance it out to 3,000. Or you could just go for the 10 draw. It's dependent on how you feel about it. Most people feel the 10 draw is more worth it, and so do I, but again, I've gotten an SSR off of a single pool, so a few times too off of other gachas that do it. But that's the whole thing with that. The premium gacha is nothing special. It doesn't aim any percentages to anything. It doesn't give you any extra bonuses or whatnot. The premium gacha is just a flat out, oh hey, here you go. If it was not for the half price pool, this gacha would be rated a 1 out of 10. But I give it a 2. Only because of that half price pool. I give it a 10. I give it a 2 out of 10 because of the half price pool. And interestingly enough, the Magic Jewel gacha follows the new character stuff too. So if you have Magic Jewels and you want to do the new character gacha on top of that, then yeah. But that's all I got for the gachas. There's like different types of stuff you can pay for in this game, and well, gachas is definitely the main thing you pay for. If anything, maybe character slot extensions. You don't really need to pay for elixirs and seeds anymore, considering that the gem gacha throws them at you, and so do events. But that's the whole thing with that one. The slot extensions is maybe the only other thing you pay star coins for. But I would just save Magic Jewels for that if you really want to go that far. But when it came to the gachas, I definitely had to break something down for that one because there's been a lot of them. And some of them might get tweaked a little bit and then thrown in there as well. Like, for instance, they give you a rate increase for the characters that awaken sometimes. And then there's ones that sometimes get, like, extra stuff. Like, we got an update on the break limit materials. They used to give us less. But that's the whole thing with those gachas. It's like, it's more dependent on your preference and choice, but I rated them just because of the fact that, it depends on the value. But rated from best to worst is definitely Miracle Ticket, then the SSR Guaranteed, then the Dragonic Eye Shards. I couldn't think of the name for that one. Then the break limit and the accessory ones are both even. Then the new character boosted gacha. Then the elemental drop rate increased gacha, and then the premium's the weakest. But yeah, that's the whole thing with that. So if you plan on paying money into this game, then I gave you a nice little guideline on what to aim for. But at the same time, it still depends on what you might need. Everybody, of course, wants the SSR characters, but you gotta also pull for the SR and the R characters later down the line when we get better content. But the extra stuff is where you might get swayed to go somewhere else. So, anyways, that's all for this video. It's been like 20 minutes, basically. More Kamihime project definitely coming soon. I haven't done the raid event. But I'm in the process of grinding the fire quests, too, to try and get some extra stuff. But anyways, that's all I got for now, guys. Take care.